You kidding me? What is going on here?
Look, it's because last time I was so bothered by you and Ryan picking on me about coming over the karate chop like this.
Oh, you did? You went kung fu.
Yeah, and this time I was like, all right, I'm gonna finish
Man,
right.
So you're watching video or
Finish
what?
right. Well,
You studying video?
no.
Man.
Well,
Analytics
once.
or what? You're like a
Maybe,
modern day,
maybe twice.
modern day baseball manager.
Yeah,
Look at you.
I never studied.
Speaking of, we back, baby.
Yeah, it's been since like the end of May. You know, we might have taken a small hiatus from the show, but never from each other.
Never. This is actually thinking about it. Season 3.
Yeah, year 3. We'll call it season 3, right?
Third school year, end of the first. We started.
Mm-hmm.
But over the summer, even though we took a break from school,
ideas were still flowing.
We never take a break from each other.
Mm-mm.
We're talking about some memes we saw, whatever, some videos, and one of them that came up was one of the conversations we came up had to deal with a particular Hall of Fame baseball player's superstition.
Yeah. Yes.
Chipper Jones. Tell me, what was that about?
So, like, we were kind of, this came up a little later about superstitions, but of all the ones we sent, like, there's some, like, for example, like we both talked about it, that we both jump over the foul line.
I think that's a pretty common one.
Yeah.
Like, people, like, a lot of baseball players do it, and some might not even think about why they do it, but they just see people do it, and it's a common sort of, don't step on the foul line, that's bad luck, right? And so I think that's where we start. But
maybe
then,
eating the same meal. Maybe I didn't shave before games when I was in high school.
Yeah, baseball players. I mean, athletes, I think in general are pretty superstitious, but baseball players.
Baseball, you hear, is hardcore.
Are irrational superstitions. They don't have to make sense, but for
So with Chipper Jones, it was funny as hell, right? We
Chipper Jones.
I can't remember who. If I sent it to you, send it to me. But it was a one where, oh yeah, I have superstitions. He's like, well, one time, he met somebody, and he got a hitting streak.
He went on a hot streak.
Yeah, he went on a hot streak when he started dating this girl. So what superstition came from that? Well, he married her.
Yeah.
And I'm like, whoa, that's
and you know that led him into the big leagues. He became professional, and now he's a Hall of Famer. So
I remember he didn't say.
Maybe there's
I
something
married
to
my
it.
wife. I could have sworn he said I married my first wife or something like that. So I don't know if he has multiple marriages, but if he had more than one wife, that means that this hitting streak must have come to an end.
That superstition worked because he's a Hall of Famer.
That's right.
Right.
Yeah. Maybe he got a new
and he was like
hot streak after a new wife after that. I don't know.
And then we had we thought, hey, well, let's get into this topic. We did a little bit of research on the history. We had a little historical references that we're going to make in a moment.
We surveyed the fans.
And then we surveyed those that actually follow us a little bit. All 10 of you. Now we bumped up a couple.
Our fascist following.
You're kind of a big deal now because I looked at our analytics on our viewership on the podcast, and we're now in Romania. We made it in Romania, so shout out to anybody who accidentally clicked on our videos and watched it in Romania.
Must have been Andrew Tate.
Hey, welcome to the shit show.
Couldn't have been Andrew Tate. He just went to jail.
So he, speaking of like some of the superstition, we posed a question to on our Instagram. What superstitions do you have, or what comes to mind when you think of superstitions? And there are some pretty interesting ones. I believe it's Daniela said, I never share my fortune cookies to anyone, and I keep them all so I don't get bad luck.
Oh, wow.
And that's sort of related to another one. Who was it? What's her name? Marissa. Shout out to Marissa. She said, don't talk about the bad thing and it won't come true. So it's kind of like, hey, if you talk about it, it won't happen. So that's kind of like a superstition, right?
Yeah, I know that's a superstition about dreams, that if you don't want it to happen, you should talk about it.
Okay.
You should talk about the dream. I've heard that one before.
Return of the Rudy said, being poor has always given me Misfortune. Yeah, I thought that was funny.
Thanks, cuz. That was
T. Taylor, getting your feet swept by a broom equals you'll never get married or you'll be in an unhappy marriage. So it makes me wonder, did somebody sweep my feet at one point? Because
you'll never get married.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
maybe
Getting your feet swept by a broom.
Yeah. So don't sweep if it means your bad luck in your marriage or you never get married.
Nobody swept my feet.
Somebody swept my foot.
Yeah.
Araceli, my sister-in-law, she said walking on handicap marked parking spots, it gives a bad vibe. So
walking on handicap marked parking spots?
She goes around them. She doesn't walk across them. She goes around.
I only think of that stuff like when you go to graves, like, oh no, you're not supposed to walk over them, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so I kind of feel that a little bit. But you know, that's just, it doesn't matter if you believe it or not. If somebody believes it, hey, it's a superstition,
Yeah,
right?
I mean, it's
Yeah.
a superstition.
A couple of
if
people
you
said
believe it.
owls. Look at.
Yeah.
Oh no, the same person. I'm sorry.
Somebody said that owls are bad luck, so you know, I have a superstition. My sister, she said black cats. I think that's a common one. That black cats. Every time I see one, I close my eyes and I take 3 steps back. So I think that was a popular one. Someone even said, I think it's Alex. Alex said the number 4 is bad luck, which interesting. One of the things we're going to talk about in a little bit is about numbers and.
Yeah, one of them is especially been bad luck throughout history, and they even make movies about it, right? Yeah.
So just today, I was talking about superstitions. I was talking to Blake, and I don't know if you knew this, kind of looking at like some superstitions, but in athletes, she mentioned that Hall of Fame boxer, famous Mexican boxer Julio Cesar Chavez, and she told me about the story about why he wears the headband, the red headband.
Why do you wear it?
Famous wear.
Yeah,
red headband.
It's like a signature for it.
It's and
it wasn't even like a thick one. It was like almost like he folded it, make it in almost like a string.
So it was a red one, and now today there are several Mexican boxers that also wear the red headband as sort of kind of paying tribute to Julio Cesar Chavez. But the story is, and I had to kind of look it up to confirm it. I think it was in 1987. He was about to fight a boxer. It says Edwin Rosario. But somebody told him, someone in his inner circle said that his mom put a hex on him, like a spell on him to make him feel sick so he wouldn't fight well. And so says had placed a picture of Julio in an ice bucket in one of the gyms, meaning she was putting a spell on him.
It's like a voodoo doll, but with a picture.
So that it would weaken him by the cold and he would struggle throughout the fight. So he was then advised, wear a red headband into the ring to counteract the spell.
Yeah.
And then he did well in the fight. He won. Made him fight easy. I guess it made him fight better. And so ever since then, the red headband became a standard part of his outfit throughout the rest of his career.
So a lot of people are like, dude, that's not true. That's not true.
I had never heard that.
But in psychology, there's something called the placebo effect, where if your brain believes that that's what's going to happen, then that's what kind of starts happening, right? You could
the power of the mind.
That's right. That's right.
So we then said, well, what are some other historical, references to superstitions? And we found a couple interesting ones. One of them was about black cats. And why are black cats bad luck?
Yeah.
Right? So we found that one of the oldest ones is the bad luck, that black cats bring bad luck. Not all cultures believe that cats are bad luck. Actually, in ancient Egypt, they found cats were considered divine symbols. They were the goddess of magic, sorcery, the moon, and witchcraft.
Yeah, I know.
That one
I
is
know a lot of the
Greek.
hieroglyphics, like all the paintings, they have a lot of cats.
They have a lot of references to cats, not specifically black cats, but in Greek mythology, the goddess of magic, sorcery, and the moon, and witchcraft was known as, I want to say it's pronounced Hecate.
Yeah.
And so that was sort of, part of their mythology. But it kind of ties back to the church, the Christian church or the Catholic church, and how they were declared an incarnation of Satan. And because of that, many people saw cats as bad luck because it was El Diablo, he was... there's another says, Witches honored the natural world, having deep respect for plants and animals, and so affection between human and animal therefore began to be seen as diabolical or devilish. And so,
So Friday, like on Halloween, because Halloween's coming up, you already see it in stores, right? Halloween's coming up, and there's a lot of association. You see like witches, and the witches always have like black cats, or just Halloween in general. If you have a sign of a black cat, you're gonna see those like in the windows and all. I mean, it's just it's the way it is, right?
so yeah, that's why kind of like cats began to be seen as a symbol of bad luck. But then more specifically, the black cat. It's like, well, how come today specifically black cats are bad luck? And if the superstition is if a cat crosses your path,
You're screwed.
then it's a bad omen, right? But it says here, we looked up, they say that it's possible that black cats make better mousers. I don't know what that means.
Hunting
Anyways,
for rodents.
Maybe hunting for mice. But since they cannot be seen at night, therefore they
Mousers.
have a advantage in hunting.
Yeah.
So maybe that has something to do with that. But yeah, so I guess there's a lot of references to cats and witches in ancient medieval times. You know,
There's like other ones going down the line, like really popular. This black cat's really popular. Of course, a knock on wood. I remember my dad was like really superstitious about stuff, and he would say stuff like, "Oh yeah, you know, I'm I don't know, I'm gonna make a lot of money this year. I'm gonna get a lot of sales this year." He was a beer salesman, so he looked for right away. He says something, and then you look for it, and he like you see. Like almost like a crazy anxiety to go and look for it.
oh, and that's another one, knock on wood, right? Something. Don't knock on wood, or else you're gonna have bad luck.
Yeah.
Right. But also, and this is an interesting point, that during the Renaissance, especially, that many fearful peasants of the day might have hurried to the nearest church and paid for a priest to bless them and get rid of the curse that might have been laid on them by the cats that crossed their path. So it's like, oh, so if you don't want that bad luck,
it makes me want to get black cats just to keep people away from the house. It's an idea.
It'll keep me away because I'm not a fan of cats. But in other places like Egypt, they're actually good luck, symbol of prosperity.
Fun fact: I'm more of a cat person than a dog person. So why don't I have cats? Because I'm very allergic to them.
There you go.
And
that's probably bad luck.
I grew up with. That's a very good point.
So
no, I mean, I grew up with cats all over the house, and I love cats. And just because, and now there's new like psychological research saying that cats can understand as many phrases or whatever it commands as dogs, but they choose to ignore them.
yeah,
So it's like cats, it's almost like they're autistic or something like that.
I don't know.
They just
Cats, I don't know. They're just kind of jerks.
That's
and
right,
that's
yeah.
why some people like them.
Independent, but they'll
But
still
they
come
just
back.
They don't really care. Like
No.
not all, but it's just that general, vibe they give
Cats
off.
run away that way because they could go mate, and then if it's a male, they'll come back after a few days mating, or if it's female, they'll come back pregnant, or stuff
Yeah.
like that. They'll disappear. But the key with cats is always feeding them, right? If you give them food, they'll be back.
That's why growing up, there's a lady, one of our neighbors had cats, and she had 1,000,000 of them. And I don't know, I just never had a good experience with them.
The
But
cat lady, she was a little wacky.
and there's something to be said, and there's actually studies have been done about people who have a lot of cats.
Yeah.
I guess they give off this, I don't know if it's a pheromone or some kind of
Really?
they release some kind of chemical. I have to look back on it, and that's actually, there's some science to the idea of a crazy cat lady, that because of that it messes with your brain, like this chemical that or pheromone. I don't know. I have to double check that. Somebody look that up. But the other one we talked about, numbers, right? What number is often seen as a unlucky number?
It's always number. When I was 13, right? It's always number 13. And that one was really cool because like people are. I mean, it's so popular that people actually they made a movie out of this. Friday the 13th. Friday the 13th. Crazy famous Jason Voorhees.
Cultural icon.
Absolutely. And there's even like people are so afraid of this stuff that every year there are $800 million of financial losses in the economy because people don't want to travel on Friday the 13th. People don't want to get married on Friday the 13th. So anything that's coming up, if they don't want bad luck to happen, they tend to steer clear of Friday the 13th, and that's just I've $800 million in the economy.
million bucks.
Found that fascinating, totally
But
fascinating.
there was a name for the fear of the number 13.
Yeah, good luck pronouncing it.
Paraskevidekatriophobia.
Must be French.
Something, but that's what it is.
Yeah.
That's how you pronounce it, I guess. But yeah, it's crazy. Like the number 13 is always like a unlucky number,
Yeah.
but the number 12 is a perfect number.
Yeah.
It's like, what? Well, why is it a perfect
Yeah,
number?
well, also with the number 13,
Oh.
we're good at that whenever you go in high-rise buildings,
I did not know
sometimes
this.
they won't put rooms on or they won't have a 13th floor
They said
altogether.
that 80% of like hotels and high-rise buildings,
Oh, yeah,
and,
there
like,
is.
restaurants, right? Was it 80%?
80%, yeah. Do not
Yeah.
have a 13th floor. The majority is hotels, hospitals, and airports avoid using the number for rooms and gates as well. It's like, whoa! And some even avoid having room numbers that have the room number 13. Mind blowing.
But
Yeah.
like the number 12 is seen as like the perfect number. I'm like, well, why?
Yeah.
Because you can get a 12 pack.
Now I want room number 13 because maybe it'll be cheaper, right? Economic supply demand. Oh, nobody wants a room 13?
I'll take it.
I'll get it.
It's cheap.
I'll get it.
Um,
Just don't put a black cat in there?
maybe not.
Okay.
Maybe not. But maybe put a black dog in there. That's good luck.
Perfect number 12.
It says that the number 12, the ancient Sumerians developed a numeral system based on the use of 12, and that is still used today. How? Our calendar's based on 12 months.
Yeah, it was mind blowing.
Right. How we keep time.
12-hour clock.
It's a 24-hour day, but
Yeah.
it's
Uh huh.
12 times 2. What's the other one? So
Two half days,
two 12-hour
calendars.
half days are in a single day. So it's seen as like for some that it's like the perfect number or whatever.
Uh-huh.
But, yeah, it was
How
like
many donuts do you get?
12.
A dozen.
Dozen.
get 12.
You can get a baker's dozen.
What's that?
13.
Really?
Yeah, 13 is a baker's dozen.
So the baker's the asshole? Apparently.
Maybe. I don't know.
Apparently.
I mean, there's some people that I definitely want on my side, and one is a baker. But
Yeah.
also cafeteria ladies handle your food.
That's right.
Anyone
so
who
they
handles
want-
food, take
I don't want
take
them.
care
I
of
don't want them to spit in my food.
Yeah, we talked
Absolutely.
about this.
Yeah.
You tip them well, right? Because you don't want them to spit on your food. So
Yeah.
take care of the people who handle your
You
food.
gotta be nice to
Tip
everybody.
your servers.
Yeah.
Tip them, right?
Or else they might spit on your food.
So
Be nice people in general so they don't slash your tires.
then we thought, hey, let's have some guests on here. But timing. Sometimes people are busy, but we did have an opportunity to hear from some of our close friends and colleagues, right?
Some characters.
And we heard some funny stories, and it's relatable stories that we've kind of seen before. Should we listen to them? Or what?
Yeah.
All right, let's go and play it.
Morning, boys. So the question is, did I have superstitions when I played ball? Absolutely. I remember Little League, it was one of those things that stockings, either stockings and socks, right one first, left one or whatever, or you can change your stirrups or whatever. But I vividly remember that was part of the deal early on. But as I grew older into high school, superstitions continued. Probably not only the socks and stirrups, but an undershirt. You're riding, whether it's a hitting streak or a winning streak or whatever, would not change the undershirt. However, I would wash it. I'm not that gross. And then as I continued to play ball into my 20s, they still remained. However, when I first started coaching, those went out the door, man. The job itself is stressful enough, so it's not like you can have the same lineup or pregame rituals. It just to me, it was just too stressful. So I stuck to not having any and kind of helped along the way. So those were my superstitions. Peace out, fellas.
So a superstition that I believe in is when people knock on wood. Growing up, I would always see my mom knock on wood or try to find a place where there was wood on the wall, a cabinet or anything. And one day I asked her, hey, well, what's the big deal? Why do you knock on wood? And she said that she grew up with the notion that people knock on wood to not tempt fate, right? So when somebody believes that somebody that they love, it might be in danger, or you hear something on TV that might put others in danger, or just a bad situation, you have to find wood to go knock on it, and to not tempt fate, and to prohibit fate from, doing those, bad things. Growing up, I really didn't do it and stuff, but as I grew older, I caught myself that whenever there was like a bad thought, or I would see something on TV, or even when my kids, say something that, that would put somebody in danger, just, something that didn't sound right. Hey, well, knock on wood, let's hope it doesn't happen. And, yeah, so that is the gist of it, and I'm doing it. And sometimes, I think like, why do I do this? Why even, bother? But then I remember, hey, I've knocked on wood before and nothing bad happened. So if I stop, well, something bad happened. So, I keep doing it. And right now, something that I'm worried about is that Nick Santana might take this video and do something stupid with it. So knock on wood, and hope that nothing bad happens. All right? Peace.
Yours truly, Kawa in the house. Okay? Can whoop ass all day on the golf course. Okay? It's no secret. I'm the best in the valley. I'll be going pro soon. Okay? You best believe that. And I was asked recently, yours truly, Kawa here, was asked if I'm superstitious. Absolutely. Superstitions are for reals. They're not based out of ignorance or whatnot. They are for reals. Just like Kawa is for reals on the golf course, they are for reals. Okay? One of my greatest superstitions, it is for reals. When I'm on top of my game, my superstition is I have to be playing a golf ball that has the number 1 on there, because Kawa is number 1, and I won't be beat, and I won't be stopped. So, anyways, that's one great superstition. All my golf balls have to have number 1. If they don't have number 1, Kawa is not Kawa on the golf course. So, that's for reals. So, it's lights out. So, if you're playing golf against me, and you see that my ball has a number 1 on it, you have absolutely not a chance against Kawa. Just letting you know, keeping it real. That's 1. Now, superstition number 2, I'm a little embarrassed about it, but it's for reals, okay? I know that when I leave to the golf course, and my lady is pissed off at me, or I'm in the doghouse, I'm gonna play like a dog. My golf game is not Kawa material, okay? I'm all off my game. It's for reals. If my lady is happy, Kawa is legendary on the golf course. So that's another superstition. My lady needs to be happy. So, and I kind of hate it because if I go out and play terrible, I know I gotta go home and apologize for something that I don't agree with. But I go home and apologize and suck it up, because I need to go out and perform the very next day. I have a reputation to keep. Kawa keeps bringing a can of whoop-ass to the Imperial Valley. So if my lady's not happy, my golf game is not happy. That's for real. That's facts. This is not out of ignorance. It's the truth. It's for real. Just like Kawa's for real, I'm for real. I'm the real deal. Y'all heard it here.
All right, so
Everybody's got them, right?
everybody's heard one.
Some are more unusual than others. Go ahead.
So, like, I find the one that Sergio, our boy Sergio, relatable, because again, we both play baseball. You still play.
Yeah.
I don't play. I play softball.
Yeah.
I'm lazier. But he talked about what he wore. And so, or how you put on your uniform. You put on your sock right foot first, left foot. And
Stupid methodical.
Like the stirrups he would wear. And so, as a player, it's a common thing. Like what you wear and how you wear it will determine whether you do well or not.
And the undershirts, he like told me on the side a little extra information about the undershirts, about how was it Motley Crue that sang the song "Girls, Girls, Girls"?
Yeah.
So we used to always wear this cut-off sleeve shirt with a Motley Crue that says "girls." He always wore that one.
That
he
one?
insisted, no. But I did wash it every time. But that's up for debate.
I don't know
Serge.
about that because
That's up for debate.
a lot of baseball players,
Yeah.
if you do well,
Yeah.
you're like, oh, I can't
You don't
wash
wash
my
it.
jersey.
Yeah.
I can't wear a dress.
you know-
I've played with people like that. I'm not gonna wash my pants until the streak. You have a hitting streak. It's common.
I thought one of the greatest baseball movies I've ever seen is the League of Their Own, about the female baseball players around World War II. And it was funny. Towards the end, they made it to the World Series, and the catcher, she was on a hot streak, so she didn't wash her socks. And Jimmy Dugan, the real life Jimmy Fox, he walks in the room. He's like, "Whoa, wow, what does that smell?" Oh, and they told her, "Oh, so and so doesn't wash her socks." But like people do weird stuff like that.
Even
Weird, like
another movie
We're like,
reference,
dude, what are you thinking?
And it's not uncommon, but think about Joe Boo in the movie Major League. Here's our boy right here.
Joe Boo.
They actually have a bobblehead of Joe Boo.
You do not drink Joe Boo's rum.
Yeah.
And sure enough, the dude drank it up your butt. Joe Boo, the pitcher said that.
Yeah.
He's supposed to start that day. He walks out and he yells at everybody, "Hey, Joe Boo needs a refill." And sure enough, the next guy swings a bat. He loses the bat, goes in the air and hits him over the head. Boom! You're not starting today.
That's what you get for messing with Joe Boo.
Yeah.
Superstition.
Nobody drinks Joe Boo's rum.
but
Very
so-
bad. Very bad.
It's very common to where baseball players, especially, and you've seen it, I've seen it, when they're doing very well, they're like, well, why am I doing well? Because it's not because of your skill or your talent. It's
Can't
because-
possibly be that.
It can't be that. It's probably because something you ate that day, or maybe a routine you had that day. And so it's baseball players are we're creatures of habit, but baseball players are extreme.
Dude, in my 20s.
Clayton Kershaw has the same exact routine to
Yeah,
the minute.
yeah.
Like he warms up for a certain amount of time, he throws a certain amount of pitches, and it's like on the clock. And if it's off, he's flustered, he doesn't feel well, and that could lead into his performance. And so I thought it was interesting how Sergio was talking about that, because that's definitely a very common superstition that baseball players have.
I know my 20s, the night before, I had to drink, and I had to show up to the game next day with a hangover. But that was in my early 20s. I can't do that anymore.
It's like we're trying to recover from surgery now.
No, I tend to drop fly balls when I'm hungover now, so
But
I can't do that.
But he then said that once he started coaching, that superstition ended.
Yeah, because he
And
had too much stuff to worry about.
There's
He
too
couldn't.
much
He
on his
couldn't.
plate.
Yeah, he couldn't dwell on
And
that
I thought
stuff.
it was interesting because even when I used to coach, and my brother, he's the head coach, we still did certain things. Especially one particular year, we made it all the way to the Arizona State Championship, and every day, the day of the game at the tournament, we had the same meals.
Yeah.
We went to the same location to eat with the team.
That sounds like another Derek
And-
Jeter one.
and it
CC
was like-
Sabathia.
Yeah.
You remember that one? Like CC took him out to. Was it Derek Jeter?
I know about Derek Jeter one.
I think it's CC Sabathia took him out to eat. It was at like a heavy steak dinner, and I guess they ate it. And CC Sabathia doesn't like to do that often. It was just a one-time thing. He wasn't pitching that day, and I guess Derek Jeter had a crazy night. And the next day, Derek Jeter's calling CC, "Hey man, we going again?" And CC's like, "What are you talking about? Hey, come on, man, we get that steak. I went 3 for 3 or 4 for 4 last night or whatever." And CC's like, "Man, this guy's crazy." But there was another Derek Jeter
The
one.
other Derek Jeter one was when he was on a slump, like he was doing bad and he couldn't get a hit for I don't know how many games.
Yeah.
Until one of his teammates, was it Jason Giambi or Jason Giambi, another teammate? It was Jason Giambi told him, "Here, wear this gold G-string over your
it'll break your slump.
over your undershorts, under your pants, your sliding pants, and it'll break your slump." And he's like, "Man, you're crazy. That's dumb. It's
crazy. Who's gonna wear
But he got
G-string?
so at some point he was doing so bad that he said, "Screw it, I'm trying it."
That's baseball.
And the game that he started wearing it,
Hot streak.
he hits a home run,
Yeah.
breaks the streak. So, is there something to be said about particular superstition? Maybe, but if you believe it, then
That's all that matters. Like I said, even in psychology, there's the placebo effect. And I know, like I used to do that. Remember that TDCS thing I did with my head?
Oh, yeah.
And people would ask me, "Oh, does it work?" I'm like, "Well, I believe it works. Scientists say it works. Well, you sure it's not a placebo effect?" I'm like, "I'm not sure, but as long as I believe it."
well, our
all that
boy
matters.
Izzy,
Yeah.
Mr. Kawa. What did you think about his?
That one totally caught me off guard. There's just a whole character that he really plays, and he's always on this. He's always on this.
Shout out to the
And
Kawa, man.
and he's, dude, I'm number one. Why would I use any other ball? I'm like, damn.
And
But
it has to be one that with the number one.
with the number one,
Right.
And then the other one was more interesting, more along the Chipper Jones one, and I thought it was very. I mean, you want to if you want a good relationship with your partner at home, you know, if you're gonna go and because golf takes a long
Oh,
time,
yeah. It's
long time, right?
If you've never played golf, like if you ever try it the first
Yeah.
time, it's super frustrating.
So he'll post. I see his post sometimes that he'll do stuff like he makes dinner. He does this. He does a lot of stuff. He's gonna go golfing the next day, and he finally explained that it's his thing. If his wife's mad, there's something about going to the golf course where he's uncomfortable and he just won't play right.
It'll lead into his
So
game.
he's superstitious about making his wife happy. Dude, classic, is he?
That's funny.
That
I was cracking up.
Yeah.
So, but it kind of made me wonder, like, well, like, did you have any superstitions, or do you have any? I had one, like when I used to play baseball. Did you have any?
It was I always jump over the line.
Obviously.
I didn't shave on game day, but that was like when I was in high school. As I get older and I got fatter,
You still
I
don't
can't
shave. You
I
don't
can't
face
I can't
it.
jump over that line like
Yeah,
I
you
used
still
to.
don't. That's a
But I can't help it. I still got to hop the thing.
Yeah. So
It-
the shaving one, I've heard that one before.
yeah.
The one I had, and I don't know, I can't really.
Oh, I will wear the exact same socks and pants and height and hat.
Socks. I mean, pants down or pants up.
Well, it just depends. Like if I'm not doing well and I have pants up, just it'll be going for a few weeks because we only play once a week, right? It's Sunday league. So, and one day I'll just see another pair of pants. I'm like, all right, I'm going long pants this week. And people are like, nah, Nick, what's up with the socks, the short pants, you know? And I'm like, nah, man, like I got to try something new. And then if I break out that day, guess what kind of pants I'm showing up with the next week. So, yeah, it's just like Derek Jeter against the Chipper
Jeter.
Jones one was incredibly extreme. And that was just absolute classic. And I need to look it up to see if he has more than one wife and why he married the second one. Maybe it's like he got in another hot streak when he took her out to dinner. It's like, all right,
Well, something worked
marrying her
because
up
he
too.
made it.
right?
He made it to the Hall of Fame. So
Made it to the Hall of Fame.
mine was, and I can't remember exactly when I started doing this, but ever since I first started playing organized baseball, from desde chiquito, Little League, 8 years old, I had the number 11 every single year. My freshman year in high school, I almost missed out on it. But the interesting thing is that somebody beat me to the equipment manager, and they took number 11. And I was like, no, I have to have it. I have to have that number. That's my number. I've never had a different number other than 11.
Yeah.
So my
So
coach,
it sounded like it was beyond, no, I'm number 21 and like that, right? Because that's how I was. Not anymore, but it sounded like it was way beyond that's my number. It was more like, dude, if I don't have this number, it's not gonna be a good season.
But
like
that's not even the superstition, right? So the thing was, my coach was there, and he saw I was like kind of upset, and he's like, "What's up?" And I'm like, "Coach, do starters get preference in numbers?" He's like, "Absolutely." I was like, "I have to have number 11. Who took your number?" And I got along with him really well, Coach Weber. He's a legend, Yuma High. They actually named the mascot, the criminal mascot, after Coach Weber. His name's
wow.
Kurt the Criminal. So he helped me out. He's like, "Hey kid, come here." I don't want to say his name. And he's like, "You look better in this jersey. It fits you better." And he switched.
Yeah.
Boom. I got my number, and I kept it ever since. But my superstition was, because my number was 11. Again, it doesn't make any sense.
Oh, you told me about this before.
In my back pocket,
Cents.
I had 11 cents in my back pocket in every single baseball game I played.
That does
in
make
high
sense.
school. And it was the same dime and penny throughout. And I always had it.
You said you were on first base once and one fell out or
So
something,
one
right?
time I drew a walk. I got walked, and on my way I was taking out batting gloves because I only wore batting gloves when I was on the bases.
Yeah.
To protect my hands. The change fell out of my pocket, and I heard it clink, and I immediately stopped halfway. I'm like, "Oh crap!" And I was freaking out. I'm like looking on the ground, and people were like, "What the hell are you doing?" They're like, "Castillo, what are you doing?" I'm like, "Hold on, coach." And he's like, "What's going on?"
Yeah.
And I was like freaking out. I'm like, "Oh crap!" I'm panicking. I'm like,
I
I
can
gotta
imagine.
find it. And then I saw the dime sort of kind of glimmer, and I was like, I picked it up. I was like, "Oh, thank God!" I put it back in my pocket. We're good, coach. I think they probably thought I was looking for a contact because I was like looking, and I put it. But that was my thing. That was like my superstition. And if I didn't have it, I wasn't gonna play well. Now, does it make sense? No, but that was my
As
thing.
long
I
as
had
it
to
makes
have
sense in your head.
I had to have it.
As long as it makes sense in your head.
And hey,
No, and we're not walking around like, no, you should do this, kids. No, we know it's stupid.
you feel good, you play good, right?
Yeah.
So that was my thing. So I don't know. There's other ones like walking under a ladder. Some people.
There they go. Here we go. Going
there's a
down the
bunch of
list.
random ones, right?
Throwing salt over your shoulder.
Like in Dumb and Dumber,
Yeah.
right? Hey, it's bad luck.
Yeah.
Knock the salt. Or throw it
Walking
over
under a ladder.
You spilled the salt. That's what's the matter. Spilling the salt is very bad luck. We're driving across the country. The last thing we need is bad luck. Quick, toss some salt over your right shoulder.
What the hell?
Too little, too late,
He
Harry.
hits
Hey.
sea bass.
A broken mirror.
Kick his ass, sea bass.
Step on your crack, break your mama's back. I remember constantly thinking, oh crap, thinking about your mom when it's like, dude, yeah, right, that's gonna happen. But as a kid, I remember that going through my head. Oh, look at lucky pennies. You find a penny and it's lucky, and I remember that lucky horseshoe. You can see that. There's a Friday the 13th, black cats, fingers crossed. Yeah, hey, cross your fingers. Hopefully this will,
yeah.
chewing gum at night.
I've never heard that one.
Consumption of dead flesh. Well, in Turkey, it is thought that after dark, chewing gum is magically transformed like the Mogwai in the movie Gremlins. Oh, like the Mogwai in the movie Gremlins.
Okay.
So if you chew gum at night, it's going to turn into something like that, like a monster. If you eat the gum after
Hey,
midnight.
bring Gizmo back.
What the hell? The number 4, and you kind of mentioned that before.
Oh, what's the number 4 though?
Writing the love letters to Juliet Capulet. The
Is that
Romeo
like
and Juliet?
somewhere in Asia, like the number 4?
Oh, it's in China. The number 4.
Oh, okay.
Numbers China like 13 and 7. Numbers frequently assigned different magic significance. For the Chinese, the number 4 is a no-no due to the similarity in its pronunciation in the Chinese to the word death. So, if
That makes
somebody
sense now.
doesn't give you enough whatever at the Chinese food place, you're saying I should pull out the number 4 out of my pocket? Or flash a 4 in their face?
So Alex, I understand it now. He shared that earlier with us.
Yeah. Fun with racist, not racism, stereotypical superstitions, right?
Yeah.
The curse of the evil eye. Some of these I'd never heard of. So we looked this stuff up and we saw some things like, what the hell? I've never heard of that.
Never heard that.
And
But
we got a kick out of how many actually came out of Turkey. Even like Santa Claus came out of Turkey.
Oh,
So there's a
yeah.
lot of like ancient like traditions, superstitions, whatever. Like what the hell? But we forget that Constantinople, now Istanbul, and it was like center of the world for freaking ever. That was the center of the world for a long time, right?
True that.
Very much longer than Washington D.C. or New York is the center of the world. America,
That's right.
but didn't used to be America. America used to be Constantinople, right?
True that. So that's our focus on superstitions. Some of you shared already, but if any of you have any other ones that are willing to share,
We'd love to hear.
We'd love to hear them. We'd love to share them again. Share it in the comments. What's your superstition, or what's your favorite superstition that you've heard? Send it to us, right? So I think that's a good time to transition to best of the week.
Best of the week?
So you want, so me or you?
What? You?
Okay, so best of the week for me, I was gonna say just being back after summer break and just kind of going back into routine and all that. But
Summer's like COVID lockdown, almost like that. All we're doing
when
is
you got
messing.
sick, I remember.
I think it's, but even after that, and even my daughter was tired of it, and Christina.
It's just so hot here that it's like, oh, you got to get out of here.
Christina, like, she started looking at me the last few weeks. She's like, "You're done, aren't you?" I'm like, "You have no idea."
Like
you're gonna miss.
I know that you're always so excited
Yeah.
to come back.
Yeah.
I can kind of wait. I'm like, I like just chilling, not really. Sometimes I don't I like not doing anything when I'm not like going places or traveling. But the best thing I've seen all week, and I'm sure you'll appreciate this, is looking at the National League West standings.
I do not appreciate that.
Well, I thought you would, because your team, the Padres, were like 10 games back at one point, and now currently they're like 3 games. It's like, oh, too close for comfort.
4 games.
Oh, well, maybe it's gone back and forth.
Lost last night.
So I have 4 games now, but still, that's like that. You're within reach, And it's forced the Dodgers to really play a lot better.
4 games is better than 20 games.
So I think the Diamondbacks and the Padres have the best record in baseball since the All-Star break. It's crazy.
The D-backs blow my mind.
Yeah, so
Like we're Padres are big spenders, Dodgers are big spenders. D-backs spend a little bit of money on a bunch of fast guys.
Mm-hmm.
And whatever the formula is,
yeah,
it's obviously paying off.
So for me, that was the best thing because now, I find it hilarious. Like when we kind of go back and forth with our friends in our group, and how like, you know, you have something to play for. It makes it more exciting, you know. So we'll see how it ends up. But
yeah, like if the Padres are bottom of the barrel, it just wouldn't be as fun.
Yeah,
you know.
I mean, it is fun but it is making it more interesting. So best of the week, best thing I've seen all week, the National League West standings. So what you got?
Well,
finish us off.
One of them was, you know, being back because I am an absolute attention whore. What? I just can't help it, right? I cannot. I need people to be around me. I need, like, whenever I show up to school, as soon as I see a kid, the shit talking starts. Like I'm already messing with people, telling them how they're gonna fail their classes, or, you know, just something, just messing with them.
Out of fun.
If they know me, if they know me, they don't know I'm being sarcastic. They'll laugh. They'll take shots back at me, whatever. But it's like, it's that banter, that constant carrilla, you know, around campus. And dude, I just, why be positive? Because everybody around it, oh, you know, what you wear today is so great, and everybody's being all positive and mushy, rainbows and unicorns, and I just, all right, I gotta twist the script a little bit, right? And so, yeah, it's just, to me, that's fun. It's risky, but it's fun. So on that note, being an attention whore, I actually got a message from a student that graduated last year. She was in my AP macroeconomics course.
Oh, okay.
And she said, thank you, Sophia. My business teacher called me an econ genius after I answered one of his questions. You weren't that bad of a teacher. So giving me the world and then kind of, you know,
you weren't that bad.
But that is the spirit of what I like to do in my classroom.
That's
the constant banter. And of course, I steal this model from people like, you know, Ryan Jeffries and Scotty Fullerton.
Yeah,
just
that's
God,
awesome,
man, my heroes. So
that makes it sort of.
I had my best year of teaching last year ever, objectively, because you know how well my kids did in
your
AP scores.
Your scores were they were awesome.
You always kill it. You always pass 100% everybody. So
Not
screw you.
always. 90% is. It's all them. But that's cool.
That's how I feel. Just you provide the pathway, you provide the platform. You know what it takes to pass.
Yeah.
And pushing them, because man, sometimes, and you tell me all the time, it's like pulling teeth, getting these fools to do anything.
But then you see stuff like this. It's like, all right, I think I know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
You know, like I think I'm doing a good job because you see the results.
Yeah. So what did we learn today? We do not drink Jobu's rum.
No.
Right? Amongst other things.
Yeah.
Apparently we're never going to get a room on the 13th floor.
Don't do it.
Yeah.
Don't do it.
And apparently I need black cats so that people will stop coming over. But wait. What if I don't get my DoorDash? Oh, all right. I got to reconsider it.
Then there's that. So,
yeah.
Anyways. Well, here's to another one.
We're back.
We're back. Another episode, another season. We're back, puppy. See you guys next time.
Yeah.
Perfect.